Does anyone else remember when games were good? It was about shooting demons. It wasn't about walking around and trying to get into the Tibet store. I remember. Here's how thoroughly everything is ruined by the passage of time. I found out that, well, I've known for a while, but someone reminded me this week that the composer for RuneScape is a convicted child sex offender. Even RuneScape, even the classic melodies that you remember from your childhood, fishing and doing dragons and then the Grand Exchange, all those songs are tainted by the input of a pedophile. That's how thoroughly ruined everything is. Everything you remember is dead and gone. It's never coming back. What a world, what a world. No, they not RuneScape, exactly. So, my friends, this week has been kind of slow and shitty, but I'll try to make the best of it. These streams are worth doing, even if I'm just yelling, right, about absolutely nothing, because, I mean, in general, none of the things I talk about even matter, so I can make a mountain out of a molehill, and it's basically the same thing as something actually relevant happening for once. This guy in my Matrix, I remember to turn off Matrix, the sound effects for it this stream. So I'm gonna read this, but before I do, I should explain. If I sound bloated and fat, it is because I have suffered a great personal tragedy, which I feel the need to divulge to you guys. There are many pizza places near where I live. Most of them suck. Most of them try to do Italian style pizza, and they do it very poorly. So I have, like, I don't know if they're Arab, I don't know what the fuck these guys are, but it's like they make a proper pizza, and they used to open at like 10, and I would get that pizza at like 11:30. Like the moment, like after I woke up, a little bit after I woke up, I would order this pizza, and it would be the first thing I ate, it would be the only thing I ate, and I would have digested it by the time that my stream started. But we live in a dark time where even these small personal gratifications are washed away. So they changed their opening time to like 3:30. So I have to eat my pizza and digest all of my pizza 2 hours before my stream, and it's just not working out. So I'm either going to have to change fasting day to today on Friday, or I can start eating pizza and start eating pizza on Thursday, or I just have to find like a different place. And it's truly a tragedy, Chad, that everything that I like is ruined in some way. It's Ramadan. Are they not allowed to make pizza at 11:30 on Ramadan? Oh, happy Hanukkah, by the way. I think Hanukkah's still going on, and it was Hanukkah. No, Hanukkah started like on Saturday, I think. Anyways, happy Hanukkah. I think it's still going on. I'm not talking about the gay Santa video. I'm aware that it exists, but I choose to ignore these things. Like, yeah, of course they're going to make... I mean, really, as far as... Christmas has never been my favorite holiday, because I've always recognized it as just like a marketing thing, which I know is a cynical take that like everyone has about everything. Like, oh, Valentine's Day is just a marketing thing. Halloween isn't a real holiday. It's just a marketing thing. Like... Even Santa Claus is dressed in the Coca-Cola colors, and I've never really had any kind of affinity for Christmas over Thanksgiving, because my family would gather around for both occasions, and I was never like a greedy child. I never like looked forward to, oh my god, I can't wait to get the Red Riding BB gun or whatever on Christmas. Everything I've ever wanted has always been on the computer. So I never had like, oh my god, I can't wait to unwrap something under the presents. I don't have any of those memories. In fact, I remember when I was a child, my mom and my grandparents, when little kid, like before I even moved to Florida, my entire family got me a ton of shit, and I just got like my fingers were pruning opening all these presents, and me being spoiled, I got bored of opening presents because I had too many, and a lot of them were closed, to be fair. So I started building like arches out of presents, and I would walk under the arches, and my aunt would get mad and be like, "Stop playing with them. These are gifts from people. You open those presents." and it made me deconstruct my Arc de Triomphe and dismantle it and tear it apart. So I don't know. I that's a weird story, but I've never been someone who was enthralled with the magic of Christmas, even though I like winter. I also like fall, which is when Halloween is, which is objectively better in every possible way. In fact, Halloween is so good that Halloween also has Christmas in it. You watch The Nightmare Before Christmas, you also get Christmas spirit in your Halloween. You can't do the opposite. You can't watch something Halloween-y on Christmas Day. That ruins it. You have to watch a Christmas story where the little kid shoots out his eye. That's the only thing you can't watch. It's a one-way pipeline, is what I'm saying. Josh is indeed only child. What gave it away? Krampus. Even that's a Halloween story. You can't watch spooky stuff on Christmas. It ruins everything. You have to watch Tom Hanks and some lady try to hit it off in the big city, beset on all sides by the grumps of Christmas time. Those are Christmas movies. You get Jack Skellington on Halloween only. That's an exclusive deal. I'll watch whatever movie I want, chat. Well, geez, what's there to talk about? Someone begged me to read this, and I guess I'll read this. I don't know what it says, so it could be like pornography or something. Let's go into it. This is Marek's disease, which is it's a highly contagious viro-neoplastic disease in chickens, named after József Marek, a Hungarian. And they wanted me to read this section. Vaccination is the only known method to prevent the development of tumors when chickens are infected with this virus. However, administration of the vaccine does not prevent an infected bird from shedding the virus, though it does reduce the amount of virus shed in danger, hence reducing horizontal spread of the disease. Before the development of the vaccine, Marek's disease caused substantial revenue loss in the poultry industries in the United States and the Kingdom. The vaccine can be administered to one-day-old chicks through subcutaneous inoculation or in the egg. But then okay, I'll skip this. Oh, wait, no, this part is the important part, I think. Because the vaccine does not prevent infection with the virus, Marek's is still transmissible from vaccinated flocks to other birds, including wild bird population. And then it says here, I think is the important part. Oh, wait, no. Current strains of the Marek virus, decades after the first vaccine was introduced, cause lymphoma formation throughout the chicken's body, and mortality rates have reached 100% in unvaccinated chickens. The Marek's disease vaccine is a leaky vaccine, which means that the only symptoms of the disease are prevented. Infection of the host and the transmission of the virus are not inhibited by the vaccine. The contrast with most other vaccines where infection of the host is prevented. What he's trying to get me to say, I'm pretty sure, is that he's drawn a parallel with COVID, where people who get the vaccine can still spread the virus. And as a result of the unvaccinated or the vaccinated birds being less at risk, it has a reverse selection where it creates more and more highly virulent strains. And highly virulent strains have been selected to the point that any chicken that is unvaccinated will die if infected. So his schizo hypothesis is that the goal is to get everyone vaccinated so that the strains become more and more deadly over time to the point where they are 100% fatal to any unvaccinated human. And only the vaccinated will live. That's his schizo theory. No contagion, it's fraud. I don't know. I've never seen anyone sick, but I've heard that it is real. All right. We're going to miss you, Josh. Nah, probably not. So that's your schizo chicken theory, courtesy of the Matrix. Be sure to join. We have the best schizos. So Jack Dorsey left Twitter, which I don't think I talked about. Yeah, no, I couldn't have. I have a mixed opinion on Jack Dorsey. I'm aware that Q boomers think he's like an actual pedophile. I don't know if that's true. He looks kind of like a pedophile. He should probably stop trying to actively look like the most dangerous homeless man ever. He kind of looks like, I don't know, just like a pervert version of the Unabomber. but he's leaving Twitter, and he's being replaced by another Indian. For whatever reason, Indians are taking over the tech world. They own Google. They run a bunch of shit now. We have to watch out for the Indians. But one of my things about Jack is that he's talked about how he thought about integrating Twitter into the Fediverse at some point. And he's been an advocate of things like Tor and user privacy. He's advocated for good things, and whether or not they've been implemented in Twitter is another ordeal entirely. But to be fair, he doesn't have total control over Twitter. He's just the CEO, so he can only direct things, kind of. But he can be overridden, and I'm sure that he has been overridden. But the consequence of this is that I'm pretty sure that Jack Dorsey has fought against particularly insidious things that Twitter corporate has wanted to implement. So while I'm not saying he's like a freedom fighter or whatever, I'm saying that he's probably a remnant of a bygone era. He's one of the co-founders of CEO, right? So his perspective on tech is from an early 2000s perspective, maybe even older, and it's very different from a modern perspective on tech, where people just see like computer programs as like an instrument of pure evil to be wielded in the most insidious way possible to inflict much damage as possible. But he steps down, and then the first thing they do immediately is, with this new Pajit guy, day one, is they ban images of people without their consent, which theoretically means any picture of anyone posted on Twitter is at risk of being deleted if they just claim it was non-consensual. Even if it's not pornographic, who knows what sort of condition this has attached to it. It's not really clear, and it will probably never be clear. Someone asked, how is this going to be enforced? And the answer is very selectively. And I'll give you my schizo take on this. I think that they don't give a fuck about the average person. But in high-profile instances, i.e. like the trannies that went to J.K. Rowling's house, Twitter will delete the image. They'll delete anything that looks uncomfortable and features someone who is high-profile. The average person like you and me, we're fucked. We don't get to make a privacy complaint. I'm sure if like Ralph posted more pictures of Faith or her baby, like, she wouldn't be able to complain about it and have action taken. I'm sure nothing would be done about it. So it's not for little people. My take is, I think what they're going to do with this is that they're going to get rid of shit like Project Veritas. Any video like featuring a conversation with someone who's like an industry insider saying dumb shit is going to be immediately deleted, and it's not going to be allowed to propagate on their platform. I think that's what it's really about. If you do like a Project Veritas expose on someone in like the CDC or someone at Google or someone at Twitter, they'll just say, oh, this violates their privacy. It's an unauthorized recording. And it will be relegated to like Telegram and regular websites and stuff, and it won't go as far as it could have on Twitter. It's nothing edgy, monetizable, no one gets offended. They really, like I think YouTube a couple weeks ago removed the thumbs down on videos, right? They did the same thing with subscriber counts. It used to be a real subscriber count. YouTube would tell you exactly how many subscribers a channel had. You could pull it like every few seconds. So people would have like what's his name is canceled parties. They would watch a real-time counter of these guys' subscribers going down. They would, thumbs down bomb all their videos. And I think that that YouTube didn't enjoy that kind of publicity. They don't want a bad thing to be associated with the platform, because then advertisers hear about that and they think like, oh, what if we get canceled? What if our Clorox bleach brand promotional channel on YouTube gets canceled, and there's like a Clorox is over party and they're watching our subscribers go down and our videos have 8 million thumbs downs? We can't advertise on such a risky open platform. So then YouTube gets rid of subscribers or fucks with the numbers so that you can't really watch them go down anymore. And then they go and say that that you can't thumbs down, and they say it's for creator harassment. Creators can still see the thumbs downs, but the public can't. The public can't make a spectacle out of bombing someone's video. So when YouTube does their, I guarantee you. Oh, what incidental timing, by the way, that they implement this no thumbs down video shit, and then this is around the time that YouTube puts out those fucking awful videos about the YouTube rewind, right? The rewinds. They didn't do it last year because the year before was so awful. They cited COVID. So this year they're going to do a rewind, right? But there's not going to be any thumbs down buttons. So they won't be able to break the new record for most disliked video on YouTube with their own video. Very incidental timing, now that I think about it. So that's another thing. They don't want bad publicity like that on YouTube. And then on Twitter, they also don't want bad publicity where Project Veritas goes viral and it's this video and it's like, oh no, this is an invasion of privacy. So celebrities will be able to get... Barbara Streisand will be able to censor photos of her house. J.K. Rowling will be able to deal with those trans activists without making a viral Twitter tweet. James O'Keefe won't be allowed to shit on the CDC. All this stuff will be completely taken care of without anyone noticing, on Twitter at least. And that will make it a better, more appealing platform for people to advertise on, such as the CDC, because Twitter does get a significant amount of money from government services advertising their Twitter accounts and tweets on their platform. Yeah. Oh, the rewind's also canceled this year? Okay. I could just be wrong. That would be funny if it was true, though. Let me get a sip. Sorry, I'm dying, as I explained earlier. My take on what? My take on what? Sips? Oh. I thought you meant a YouTuber named Sips. I'm drinking Boomer Juice. Pure, clean, high grade, Monster brand energy drink for the discerning consumer of Monster energy drink. Where's the Troon voice? I think if I open an audio player called Kate, it's like Mixtape. Oh, for whatever reason, Plasma decides to name all their applications after girls. Kate is the text editor. Elisa is the music player. And I think if I open Elisa, it troons me out. So I just have to avoid opening that one. Yes, I can turn the sound off on this thing, Dibber says from Matrix. Did you hear a beep? No. Don't make me turn off Actually, you know what? Do not disturb on my notifications for 1 hour. Go fuck yourself. Peace and tranquility. Okay. So, good news at least. Amos Yee, if you don't remember this guy, he is Singaporean. And he got in trouble in Singapore. I don't remember why. I want to say he actually got in trouble for defaming the king or something. If you don't know, Singapore is ultra nationalistic in that you can't make fun of the guy who founded the city. He's considered like a hero. So it's actually criminal to defame him in any way. I think that Amos Yee defamed him and fled the country, one of the most rich and prosperous countries in the entire world, to live in the United States. And he was living in some room where he made a video about how he was a virtuous pedophile. And if you don't know, a virtuous pedophile is what pedophiles call themselves when they say that they're non-offending pedophiles. They don't have sex with kids, so therefore they are virtuous. They just have a sexual attraction just like everybody else, guys. They're a legitimate member of the LGBTP plus too. So don't hate on him. And he got like evicted from his house. And then I think he started saying that it was all a troll or something. And he was arrested a couple months ago. I want to say about 6 months ago for possession of child. Oh, I added the confetti, by the way. He got arrested for possession of child pornography. Surprise. And he was recently sentenced. He pled out as guilty. He was grooming a 14-year-old. I didn't even see that when I looked through this. Singaporean Amos Yee was sentenced to 6 years in jail. Wow. Threw the book at him by a United States court after he pleaded guilty to grooming a 14-year-old girl online and asking her for naked pictures of herself. Yee, 23. He's only 23? He looks way older. That's why they went easy on him, I bet. because he's going to get out before he even turns 30. So it's like, I don't know. Maybe what's the difference there? 9 years. That's pretty fucked up. That's definitely why, though. If he was like 31, they would have given him like 15, I'm sure. Singapore to charges of grooming and possessing child pornography. 16 other charges were dismissed. 16 other charges were dismissed as part of the plea deal. The court in Illinois. Well, there you go. Most corrupt fucking state in the entire union. The court in Illinois heard that Yee befriended the victim, a 14-year-old girl, in February while he was living in Cook County. He was 20 years old at the time. That's also why. That was a long time ago. So it's only 6 years. They give him the age gap in years. I guess that's fair. Yee met the victim online and they began online courtship, during which Yee repeatedly requested her to send him naked pictures of herself. On several occasions, Yee asked her to engage in role-playing sexual fantasies. Yada, yada, yada. He pled out. He got 6 years. And so ends a chapter in internet history. Though I think, wasn't there that black guy, Mad Thad? He was arrested for child pornography like early 2010s. And I think he's out already. I wonder what he's up to. Kind of hard to come back from that reputationally. Anyways, here's some confetti. I happen to see this, and I want to talk about it because it's a good opportunity to shit on cops. But can someone explain to me in chat who Culture War Criminal is? I'll wait. Who is Culture War Criminal? I want a concise explanation of who this person is. Not invoke Mutt's Law? I went the entire time without invoking Mutt's Law, okay? Sumsberg, the other quick, our white savior, Ralph's butt buddy. I thought they didn't like each other anymore because of Nick Fuentes. Ex-Killstream host at Groypers in the Fuentes Fag, I'm told. So he made a Telegram post saying that Frederick Brennan was, I'll read it. Breaking, Frederick Hot Wheels Brennan, 8chan founder, has been shot dead in Tucson, Arizona. And there's like a clip here of like a guy in a wheelchair being shot by police. To which Frederick replied, fake news, spells legal name wrong, which is true. Frederick, for whatever reason, Frederick was very, very particular about this. I used to call him Frederick as well, with the E after Fred. And he really, really hates that. He really hates being called Frederick. He insists on it being called Frederick without the second E. So he points that out immediately. Spells legal name wrong. Uses offensive Chan culture nickname, which is Hot Wheels in this case. Oh, this Roblox guy. He lives here in Tucson. Did you kill this cripple, Ruben? Is this you guy? Weirdly implies I'd be in Tucson, and implies I'm broke enough I need to shoplift or that I'd get caught. How dumb do you think I am? So I want you guys to see this cripple get murdered. Warning, graphic content. Come on now. Oh, I paused it when I made it full screen. I'm an idiot. Okay, wait, watch this. We're at 6 seconds. This is the car sitting in his squad car. Key comes out. He gets out. He runs over to the cripple. He's got a knife in his other hand. His friend over there says, who's already pointing a gun at this guy in the motorized wheelchair, about 3 yards from him.
Not going to the store, sir.
Guy is wheeling and dealing straight into that looks like a Walmart gardening section with a knife in his hand. Now he's a cripple. He's unable to walk. He's in this motorized chair. Then our cop pulls out his gun, and the guy pauses and he leans over to look around because he's a cripple and he can't look behind him and he can't like rotate his chair. So as he's leaning forward, right here, 8 shots, in case you're wondering. Oh, maybe 9. He's hunched over. You can see like his back is like deformed because he's like a hunchback. And whack, onto the ground. Let's get a second angle of that footage. Guy's rolling up. Fucking dead. Just fucking dead. His pack of smokes scattered on the ground. And then I love this. Here, this cop is so good at his job. Oh, kill confirmed, Tango down. We're bringing this one in alive. And then he puts his arms behind his back. This cripple has been shot 8 fucking times. Point blank range, less than a yard behind him, directly into center mass from his shoulder. And he's sitting here like, oh, time to cuff him. And this guy's like limp like a fucking, like a rubber chicken squeak toy. He's just dead. And this asshole is handcuffing him. What I really like is this part, like right here. Ready? The cop is still holding his gun, but his arm, like over the times that the other guy is shooting, his arms like sink to the ground, and there's like seconds of just stunned disbelief. He's thinking like, this was probably unnecessary. This was probably. I'm so glad. I'm really upset that I'm here because now I have to file out a report. I have to explain what happened to the Bureau of Internal Affairs for our department. I have to explain this asshole's decision making. Like what a nightmare. What an absolute disaster. I'm just thinking like it's a cripple in a chair with a gun or with a knife. Maybe he's faking it. Maybe it's a ploy. He really wants to stab a cop. So his grand scheme is to buy this motorized wheelchair, so that when they get close to him to try and help him in this situation, he can jump out of his chair and go, "En garde," and stab the cop in the face, right? Maybe that's his scheme. But then it's like, okay, if that's what you're afraid of, you have 2 people there. There's no threat. It's not like once he crosses that barrier, it's going to tripwire a bomb that blows up the Walmart or something. He can go into the Walmart just fine. No, but it's not a serious risk if that happens. So it's like, okay, here's some things that you could do. You could probably just hold on to that thing. Well, it's pretty big. I think Frederick had the exact same one. I don't know if you can actually like stop it if you try to hold on to it without putting your hands at risk. And if your delicate hands are afraid of getting stabbed by the hunchback, okay, Mr. Shooty Man can hold his gun. This other cop can get a broom, right, and just poke at the cripple until he gets really frustrated. He'll start swinging his knife at you, but you have a broom. You have a reach advantage here. He's a cripple. So just keep poking him until he drops his knife. Or just bat at his arm until he winces and drops his knife. And then use the broom to like skedaddle the knife away in a different direction. There are things that you could my point is here, this is not the most tactically sound tactic. My thing of poking them with the broom. Look, a lot of problems in my life can be solved with a broom, as many of you know. But I think this is also one that calls for the broom. Just poke at him. He's a cripple. Don't do this. Whatever the fuck. Don't like walk up to him. There is like no delay. What is the fear here? Why do you keep shooting him? He's like, he like keeps shooting him because he's like moving still, and I guess he's trained to keep shooting until he stops moving. But he's clearly just like lurching forward because he's immediately murdered. He's executed by this shot. This is why you don't trust the cops. I don't like I just know those guys have an annual salary of like $36,000 a year. They have a high school degree. They are not like, college educated 4-year degree, police science, like criminal justice graduates who know how to disarm a situation. This guy's name is Abdul. He has been given his gun. He intends to fire his weapon. He has a GED and he gets paid about as much money as one of those employees in that the Walmart greeter talking to him probably gets paid as much money as Abdul does. He's going to fucking gun you down for whatever reason or no reason at all in this case. So no, fuck cops. Really, I know that. I don't know. I don't think does any cops actually listen to this? There's 1,700 people. Theoretically, mathematically, one of them has to be law enforcement, right? I'm sure that my FBI shadow is in here. He can't. He's not allowed to tell me that he's shadowing me, though. I hope not. The American gets shot. We're all feds. Play the entire thing. That is the entire thing, dude. I'll play it one more time in case you're not done seeing this guy get shot. Gets out of the car at 6 seconds. Runs over.
Do not go to the store, sir.
Stop now. You need to stop.
At 23 seconds, the entire magazine has been emptied into him. Woman cop that I think is our point of view is just like, what the fuck? Like, oh, I didn't even realize this. Look at this. Look at his angle. Well, that's not a safe backdrop. You can shoot that redhead. That's the Walmart greeter. If the Walmart greeter got shot too, that would be fucked up. You could have fucking blasted that ginger. And there he is. So long, my friend. Knew ye well. Yeah, they had fuck that. Fuck cops. That's my biggest reservation about coming back to the U.S. is that I know that the United States has like millions of cops, and they're all fucking retarded, and they all have guns. And if someone finds out where I live, they just go like, "Oh, this guy is a pedophile. He's got like a child sex dungeon, and it's completely full of grenades, and he's like a Nazi." And then you have like 8 Officer Abduls fresh out of the police academy with their guns at the ready, and it's just like, what a nightmare. But then again, I guess Europe has the same thing, so I don't know. Did anyone get this for me? Oh, here. Okay. Sorry, I asked for something before the start of the stream because I'm going to need it later. I am going to need it later. All right, next thing. How do I phrase this? Give me a second to think this over. How I want to phrase this. So I did a video like 2 years ago called Internet Juche, where I explained in detail the steps that a specific man named Sammy, my best friend, someone who knows me better than anyone else in the entire world, has taken to try and undermine my website. And I thought he's been gone for a while. He has early onset dementia in his family. I think his mother started losing her mind at 45. He's around 45, so his dementia is going to start kicking in soon, hopefully. And then I won't have to deal with him anymore. But he's been quiet for a while, and I thought maybe his dementia has kicked in. And he came out of the blue, because I had mentioned on posts that I was thinking of writing new software, and I was curious what people's opinions were. And my stated reason was that Zenforo is commercial software with a closed license, and it would really suck if they revoked my license. And then immediately afterwards, inspired by this post, even though there's been a thing at the bottom of every page for the last 6 years, literally 7 years now, more than 7 years, saying Zenforo at the bottom. He just had the idea to complain to them about the software license. I don't know how the fuck you would miss this. I was overconfident in expressing this concern because I assumed that he had at some point tried to intimidate Zenforo into canceling my license, but this never happened. But it just did, which means that we don't get new updates. Now, if I see a security update, I'll make sure to patch it, but because I watch the update logs anyways. But the gist is that we're no longer welcome to use Zenforo, which is what's powered the forum since we moved off PHPBB like 7 years ago. And this gives us a couple options. We can either move back to PHPBB, which would fucking suck. We could move to some other thing. But really, Zenforo is the most feature-complete forum suite on the internet, which is why a lot of people just pirate it. However, there are certain things that I would like out of a forum software that no forum software, even Zenforo, could do. A couple things. Predominantly, I would like to have first post that can be edited by many users like a wiki. I would also like for a more robust way of storing multimedia, because the way that Zenforo does it sucks, and I don't think any other platform does it any better. The only way you can get around without a more sophisticated implementation is just using AWS, but we can't use AWS because we get banned from AWS. So that's the other thing, and I would also like it so that there's built-in archiving software, which is just a long-term one. But my point is that there's things I'd like to do in terms of data retention and deduplication and handling multimedia video files and images and PDFs and all the shit that we host. And those are pipe dreams for anything else. So I am working with someone right now to make new forum software, specifically for us, probably open source later down the road, out of Rust. Now, if you know anything about programming, the name Rust as a forum software is probably going to concern you for two reasons. Number one, Rust is a low-level programming language, and it's quote-unquote overkill for a forum. The other funny thing about Rust is that Rust is the most transgender of all the modern programming languages. Rust is very, very LGBTQIP plus positive, and they have transgender moderators on staff to make sure that everyone's playing nice and all this shit, right? So, as a benefit of that, using Rust will piss off trannies, which is always a plus. And I made this video. I had to join a Discord to get some help. And this was the intro screen for the Rust Discord, so I made this video.
Survival is a tenuous proposition in this sprawling tomb.
Because it really is fucking scary. You're like, oh god, all these people are weirdos, and I don't want to deal with them. But whatever. After I started talking to people, I realized that useful people are not the transgenders. Very quickly, I realized that transgenders sit on the documentation team, and they do community management, and they do code of conduct stuff. But when you're talking to actual people who know what they're doing, you're always talking to some guy from the Netherlands or Austria. I don't know what it is about the Netherlands and Austria, but and Sweden. I am reluctant to praise Sweden in any capacity. Austria and the Netherlands are easier, but they make good developers, and they're very white and very male. All the trannies come from America and Canada, and Germany. All the furries come from Germany. I don't know what it is. I assume it has something to do with post-war trauma, but Germany has a lot of furries, and they all end up in programming spheres. Point is, we're going to use Rust. So, if you are someone interested in helping write forum software, we will open source this. I would like to have something to show in January, and I'd like to open the repository sometime after Christmas. So we're using Actix Web. We're using this is wrong actually. We're using Postgres, but we're using Open or CSQL, which is a new project to replace Diesel, and we're using Askema for templating. So if you know any of that shit and you want to help out, if you're senior in Rust web development for whatever reason, get in touch. Otherwise, just wait a little bit and I'll have the repository open. Just throwing it out there, and then hopefully by the end of the year, we'll be able to move off of Zenforo, and I will make it my personal mission to completely and totally bankrupt their company. I will make sure that Zenforo is replicated one-to-one feature-wise in Rust. It'll run 1,000 times faster because it's not done in PHP. And I will even do, if I can, cloud deployment for the software so that people can just one-click deploy and pay what they want for the deployment. And I'll make sure that when you type in, free forum software were the first result, and I'll make sure that Zenforo. I'll even go to Google AdSense, and when you type in Zenforo, I'll place ads to the free Git repository to make it so that people can find it faster. Because really, I've been a customer of theirs for 7 years. My license is $200 annually. I have paid them over $1,000, and they never had a single fucking problem with me using their software until some cunt in England sent them a little letter saying, "Boo hoo hoo, 20s killed themselves. Ooh woo. Oh woo, what are you gonna do about it? Ooh woo." And they're like, "Oh my God, we're sorry. We'll cancel their license right away, sir." And I think even Zenforo Ltd. Do you know what an LTD is, guys? I'm pretty sure. I may be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure an LTD is an English company. Oh, Zenforo Limited is a company registered in England and Wales with the company number blah, 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 blah in London. Isn't it funny that every time something horrible happens, every time I'm inconvenienced, there are British people at the root of it? If only England had been completely and totally fucking leveled by the Luftwaffe, this world would be a better place. The sun would rise and set every day, and the day after would be a better day than the day before it. And instead we live in a post-England society where things are just fucking horrific, and it never gets any better. Got strafe England. That's right, chat. Base Stukas. What kind of licensing? A free one. Probably copyleft. I'm a big fan of AGPL. As many people know, as funny story, as we've been kicking over names, we've rolled out Infinity Next as one, but in case anyone remembers 8chan, one of the conditions with the software when we went into it was that it was going to be AGPL. If you don't know anything about licensing, free software usually means that you can take the software and you can do whatever you want to it, you can use it however you want. Copyleft software like AGPL means that you have to also keep your source open. So our concern with 8chan was that we were going to make software that people would want to use. And the only requirement that we would have for giving the software out is that if you make changes to it, you have to also make your changes public. And that way it would have a healthy ecosystem. But the guy who bought 8chan, Jim Watkins, hated this. He did not want the software to be open. He had a huge spat. He literally stormed out of a meeting because I told him I would keep the license copyleft because that's what people crowdfunded. They crowdfunded copyleft software. And I don't even know if I could change it without violating our contract to the crowdfunding system. So he literally stormed out. He threw a fit. He bitched at Frederick over the phone, and that was the major falling out between me and Jim Watkins. But I maintain it's a good license, so we'll probably do copyleft. Okay. Now we've been thinking over some names for it. My buddy who set this up called it Ruforo because it's like Zenforo, but Ru as in Rust. And I kind of hate that. I wanted to call it Trusty because it's like Rust. It's like Rusty, but Trusty Foro. And he hates that idea. And I think we're gonna have to pass on Sneed Foro because I think that's a copyright belonging to 20th Century Fox. But as I was pitching the name Sneed Foro, it kind of reminded me of Sneed. And this picture that Chris had drawn of Sneed and Feed, at the request of someone during the crowdfunding thing for Everfree Northwest. And I remembered this, and I never published this detail. I think I published it on TV, actually. I posted this picture on TV with the text messages I received. I don't think I have those text messages anymore. But Chris said that Sneed had died and only Chuck was left. And he said that they were gay incestuous lovers. I thought that's a weird detail to it. But it's like a common trope, right? Like rednecks fuck their cousins and stuff. And I remember that detail. And I was thinking things that make you go, chat. Because that would be, that's the right time for him to be fucking his mom. And he projected his deviancy onto Sneed and Chuck, who are innocent in every way. If you can imagine that. What a world. I think I need to drink some water. So I think I'll play this clip. No, I can't actually. Let me just get a drink of water. From Jesus Christine Weston Chandler Sonichu. I'll just read this blind again. I'm gonna make a habit of. Oh my God, this is like 10 pages. I'm gonna make a habit of reading these. As they are, just blind. Is this like not the right order? 2. It's a good thing he numbered these. 3, 4. Oh, they're front and back. He ran out of paper or something. Okay. I have not heard from you in a while, so I thought I'd write to you once again. I am certain that you've been keeping yourself very well and safe. Are you enjoying the indirect popularity from kiwi farms as well as the direct increase on onion farms? Also, I and my body have read some of the Quran, including all of chapter 19, as you've recommended. I do appreciate your earlier hierarchy, spirituality level comparisons between Judaism, Islam, he means Islam, he says Muslim, and Christianity. Rest assured, my personal updates on Christianity to neo-spiritual Christianity in the near future and after my second coming shall offer even higher levels of spirituality and even freedom. Anyway, the Quran is literally all over the place. Not to offend nor make jest, but there's only some new insights it takes heavily from the Bible. The Quran is to the Bible as Family Guy is to The Simpsons. And with the fact that Allah is actually a God manifested from a piece of my mother Emmanuel, the Muslims have been indirectly praying to her through Allah. The Muslims would actually do better to be more open-minded to and for other religions, including Christianity, as well as greater spirituality, so they are not blindly trusting themselves from greater truth and insight. I had spoken with Allah, and he was greatly concerned over his followers in Islam, as they are so heavily strict, defensive, violent, and closed off from other inputs. But I digress. I also ended up getting a second prayer ring to keep on my bed for sleeping on. It feels nice in the material as the first, and I have personally blessed it as well. Have you slept on a prayer bed rug, Kenneth? I recommend it for spiritual boosting. He thinks it's like you sleep in a bed that has like special stats and you wake up rested with like a rested attribute and extra spirituality because it was a prayer rug. I just imagine he's in the cell and like his cellmate like cuz you want to sleep on the bed, and he's like, no man, I got my prayer rug. I'm just gonna sleep down here by the toilet. And he's like, okay, whatever, cuz. Now, the reasons for this letter, I have received a list of questions from a faker who did not hide the fact in the surname they used of general nature about my jail experiences. I would like you to post this Q&A on The Onion on my behalf, please, Kenneth. And just to acknowledge the fourth wall break to all reading this online. To all haters, fakers, and toxics out of the minority, I am afraid I'll have to disappoint you all, since while my body has had few emotional breakdowns and a lot of you in your distant alternate universe fanfictions that see me in low-functioning, over 250-pound weight and as abysmal ability to adapt, I, in cursive, Miss Jesus Christine Weston Chandler Sonichu, writing this on November 16th, 2021, have actually adjusted well, maintained higher functioning mental emotions and spirituality, and my weight has dropped to 203 pounds, which is actually appropriate to my human form's 5'11" height. Which just goes to show that when you move out of a burned down house full of garbage and cat shit, your health will improve. I don't actually doubt him at all. Laugh, scoff, or jest as thou may, and likely will, but know that in this, while my answers remain hand over heart, honest and direct, I am trolling you all back in this as well. Lulz. Also, you may or may not read about it in my published Goddess logbook after my second coming if you aren't left behind. I think that being stated here on 10 Q&As in response to a faking Joe Mama. The last name gave it away, huh, Chris? What does your daily life in jail consist of? Do you have a schedule? What do they have you do on a daily basis? Any chores or jobs? As stated before, I meditate innately, as well as consciously, for the majority of the whole of my body's time in jail. I leave my body to work with the superheroes, OP individuals, and my fellow gods and goddesses, and Sonichus and Rosachus, on the event works and damage control and damage prevention for the benefit of the minority, or the benefit of the majority, who will shift to 1C211987 on Earth. On that, everything not drawn, written, or thought by I and or my body are absolutely not canon or effective upon all universes within this timeline, including a bunch of fucking numbers and Equestria. G5 is not canon at all in this timeline, and so forth, as of date August 1, 2021. Other than that, some drawings from time to time, lots of writing. I have read a few books from the jail's library, and over time, lots of solitaire gameplay on the prayer rug on the floor, and more recently, music from the radio. The only scheduled details are 2 early breakfast, brunch, and tea time supper, as well as a daily shower with Bob Barker soap or Irish Spring soap, washcloth, water, and shampoo and towel. I'm also brushing my teeth with Colgate toothpaste, and every other day apply a lady's speed stick deodorant. No chores or jobs. This is like heaven for him. He has no obligations. They make him bathe once a day. He gets fed punctually. And for the rest of the day, he can just sit on his prayer rug and play pretend. I mean, this is literally all he needs to be happy. And occasionally he gets a nice letter from the fan zone. Have you made any friends? What are they like, and what have they learned from them? Or what have you learned from them? I'm not allowed to associate much with other inmates, and I've made allies out of the police and medical staff. I have learned what I needed to for my consciousness from them and confirmation of the preceding events. That's a weird response. How is the food in cell? What kind of food do they give you? Is it good? Have they assigned you to help in the kitchen at all? What is your jail cell like? Is it comfortable? Do they give you a pillow and blanket? Do you have a cellmate? Are they cool? Mostly good, but the boneless chicken breast is dry, and the meatballs from a banquet TV dinner are better than the meatballs here. Typical foods, including vegetables like you'd find in a TV dinner. Mostly good, not right home about in quality, but good. This is the only person I've ever heard of to describe prison food as good. This is made for him. He's always belonged here, chat, apparently. No estoy en la cocina. My cell is roomy enough and long enough with the standard bidet and toilet and mattress with... They have a bidet in the toilet. What? Do they not give you toilet paper because you can hang yourself or something? So you have to like wash your ass in a bidet? That's very fancy. With the enclosed pillow. The cell is comfortable enough, got cold, and I got to wear 2 thermal tops, 2 long johns, and a pair of socks. Not Joey Tribbiani stocky, that one episode of Friends, but I am warm. The pillows and the mattress, they give me 2 bed sheets and a thick enough blanket in wool, I believe. No inmate, cellmate, but I am never alone since I have Magi-Chan and the others. My ally highest level rank and trained psychic and ghost Pokemon, including some from the Sonichu and Rosachu Psychic Squad, and a large number of angels from the Heaven Realm, as well as over 10 million good and neutral spirit souls and allies, entities in my body, conduits. Subdimension to the house, them all in, he says. Number 4, how clean are you keeping? Do they require you to shower daily? Very clean, and I am encouraged to, yes. See question 1. Number 5, have you been in trouble while in jail? Have they put you in solitary confinement or something? If so, what did you do to get in trouble and what was your punishment? Once, and the details have been written in my goddess log pages. In short, I tried to enlighten the staff by highlighting a portal. You'll have to wait for the book publishing to read more on that. Smug anime face. Written in ink. I really don't know what that expression is, but it looks like something you could copy paste onto an anime face and it would fit perfectly. I don't know what... I tried to enlighten staff by highlighting a portal. You will have to wait for the book publishing to read more on that. Did he try to escape? What the fuck? What does that mean? What do they let you do in your free time? Do you listen to the radio or watch TV? See question 1, but whenever I like and I can do with my local resources. I have an AM, FM, WIN, radio, no TV. How is funding there? Do you provide the basic needs, clothing, and the like? How do you make money to buy paper and pen from those letters you're writing? Staff do not provide funding. Yes, the basics and some paper upon request, as well as pen. I get money from the kind donations from my good and genuine majority of followers and viewers like you. Thank you. Viewers like you is like a PBS thing. And then they made another anime face with like a peace sign. Why are you in jail? Are you aware that what you did was wrong? I am in jail because Bella failed her divine test with the leak she ended up altering, and Null failed and betrayed me when he blabbed and snitched the transfer of funds for my hotel room, which I have paid back in full, and the divine test on the common online public, including you all. Enough have failed to disregard the rumors and the temptation of drama that all of you get punished now with my online absence. You all blew it. I can imagine Ralph writing something like that. Like, yeah, you guys had it good over there on the Kiwi Farms to my deluge of drama and happenings, but now I'm in jail, so you fuckers blew it. Ain't nothing coming out of here but pin letters, boy. And I have soul bonded, cuddled, and supportively talked in healing the aura and chakras and absolving the sins and regrets of Barbara. Soul bonding does not necessarily constitute sex. Had I not healed her, she would be dead late August. There is nothing wrong in this divine mission from my mother, Emmanuel, that I have fulfilled. Think deep, meditate, reevaluate your choices, and repent, haters and fakers. If you were found not guilty, what would you expect to happen next if you should get out of jail? What about if you are found guilty? Not guilty, I know, all will resume well and good, period. If found guilty and not allowed to return home, premature apocalypse for everyone. Seriously, not good at all. How do you feel about your case and lawyer? Are you confident in his ability to defend you in court? Heilberg, Heilberg is a very skilled and intelligent. I have great confidence and faith in his abilities, as well as greater faith in the outcome. No spoilers. He already knows. He doesn't have to tell you. I see you all online. I shall see you all again online once more, not too long from now, and then adios to the majority lot of you with Judgment Day. Her holy flames shall dissolve you. Remember, repent, and take care in the meantime. Go forth with that clarity. By my power is God. Sincerely, Miss Jesus, Christine, Weston, Chandler, Sonichu, the Goddess Blue, Heart, and Lord. I don't know what that one word is. Missile, Savior and God of all. Mrs. Savior and God of all. Alright, that's the Chris update. By the way, his case had a continuance. It was set for like a hearing at something. He had a continuance. And I think the reason why is... Oh, Messiah. Good. Okay. Messiah. I think the reason why is that, number one, Barb is old, so she's like the witness in this case. If she dies in between like the trial and now, that's a big benefit to Chris. The other thing is, I think every day served in jail before a trial is like double time. So if you wait for your trial a year, and this is to encourage the state to grant you your speedy right to a trial. If you spend 1 year in jail, it may depend on the region, but I think that accounts for like 2 years in sentence. So if you are like, okay, if he gets sentenced to 2 years in jail and he has to wait a year for his trial and he's found guilty and he's sentenced to 2 years in jail, he's already out on time served. So it makes sense in the defense's case, in Heilberg's opinion, if he thinks that his client's guilty as fuck and he's going to get sentenced to jail time, to allow him to accumulate as much time as possible awaiting trial. Yeah, time served. I think it is true. It depends on the jurisdiction, but I'm pretty sure that they give you more than just one-to-one time served. Yeah, it might be specific areas, but I remember that being mentioned in certain cases. I don't know. It could be one-to-one, but Pretty sure. Pretty sure it's a little bit more than 1-to-1. Anyways, I have this wonderful enlightened clip from Gator. I'm going to use it as an excuse to drink some water.
Experience, and when did he experience?
Now, what's interesting about that is actually around the time that Null's mental state started to rapidly deteriorate. It's very possible, and because Josh really isn't the kind of religious type, he's not the kind of person that would protect himself through asking Christ to forgive his sins and attending church regularly and
Through a solid spiritual grounding.
Right. He's not that kind of person that would do any of those things. And so it's very likely that Josh's life and his spiritual being has been assaulted by this demon for a while. And you can really start to see at that point that his entire mental state starts to rapidly deteriorate. He starts getting into fights with people. He starts to really, like, his whole, like, autistic quest to destroy Mr. Medicare really started to, like, take shape around that time. He was doing everything. He was stacking the chairs up to have a go at Ralph in the aftermath of Knoxville. That really didn't, come to full fruition until the infamous Korn tapes were a thing. But this is kind of that moment when it all started to kind of go downhill a little bit for him.
After being exposed directly to the worst cognito hazard imaginable, imagine my shock. Wow.
Yeah, I can't weigh in one way or another on the various fights that occur on the internet. There's just so many of them. It's hard to keep track.
And a lot of them are stupid and pointless. And really...
and a lot of them just aren't worth keeping track of. But with that said, like, if I were confronted by a demon, consciously or unconsciously, I'm pretty sure I would show visible emotional signs of that in my own behavior, even if I didn't consciously acknowledge it myself.
Well, and it may simply be, this entity, this demon that attached itself to Chris, really seems to wants people to be more aware of Chris and wants to kind of extend its tendrils out as far as it can go. And so, it may not be just Null himself that is being affected by it. It may be other people that are involved with, like, the Chris Chan community, or even tangentially related. Now, I'm not saying the death of internet blood sports may have actually been the work of a demon, but it's an interesting theory.
So this guy who runs a podcast about anime, who watches anime, whose entire life is devoted to anime, he literally publishes the birthdays. He says happy birthday to fictional anime characters on Twitter, and even after people started making fun of him for it, he still does it. He still says happy birthday to his waifu every year. And he thinks that this guy who has never read the Gospels thinks that I am possessed by a demon. Literally, unironically thinks that I'm possessed by a demon because I talked to Chris. And I just don't have his spiritual insulation to keep me safe from such from such demonry, such evil. Sorry, I got distracted because I was thinking of this clip from, like, Wife Swap, like 10 years ago, and it's like an anti-Christian thing, because it's like they picked the most horrible woman possible, who's like a staunch, like, super conservative Southern Baptist, and they swapped her with, like, a hippie pagan. And she comes home and she's like crying. She's like, there was dork-sided magic. I had to put armor on to even walk into that place. And she's like this super morbidly obese, like 400-pound woman screaming about dork-sided magic. Pull it up, Josh. Okay. Okay, give me a second. Oh, this is 5 minutes long. I can't show you this. Oh, she was the God Warrior. I just want like a 2-minute clip that I can actually play on YouTube. 7 minutes. Here, this. Fuck it. I'll play a little bit of it, I guess.
Idea. So uneasy in my life.
I just want the part where she's screaming.
I have not slept since I left New Orleans. What? Dork sadded.
This is some classic stuff, chat. This is like mid 2000s.
Not of God. It's not Christians. Did you not ask if she believed in God? She's not a Christian.
She could be a Jew and believe in
It
God.
doesn't matter. She's tampering in dark-sided stuff. Yes, she did. The entire house is dark-sided.
She said her whole house is.
She is dark-sided too. Why are you mad at us?
I'll stop it there. But this was like classic like YouTube atheism like meme material like back in the 2000s. And Gator really reminds me of that. Here Gator is sitting on the couch wearing his armor, warning everyone about the dork-sided stuff that I'm up to with Chris. Okay. So that's the Gator update. Segueing into the Ralph update. I don't know how much I want to play of this because it's a lot of stuff. The gist is that Ralph was on his fucking whatever stream, Tequila's. Apparently he still does a regular kill stream, but all the fun stuff comes from Tequila Sunrise, where he's just like screaming incoherently at his chat for like 4 hours straight while they donate pennies on the dollar to like what, dude. Whenever you pull up his stream, to like watch it. Like people tag me and be like, Josh, he's like talking about us. You should watch this. And then you pull it up. He's like almost always watching black people. I don't know what it is, but he really fucking loves to watch black people. I watched when he was like, he unironically for 40 minutes straight was watching a black guy like debate a tranny, and he just stood there like his head in his hand, watching this black man just staring intently at this black man. And I'm thinking like, bro, why the fuck do people give you money to do this? So during this stream, he has Rand on. And if you don't know, Randbot is in Australia. Randbot also really fucking hates me. I don't know why. I think because he's doxxed and people believe that his wife is a I think it's on like page 3 or something. She looks really Jewish. Anyways, Randbot gets on. He's drunk because he's always drunk. And he's talking to Ralph, and he's just like, he insinuates that how do I phrase this? Randbot is like a super like neo-Nazi, and I hate saying that because like the Nazi Party has been dissolved for like how long now? Like 70 years. It doesn't exist. If anyone calls themselves a Nazi, they're a retard. But Rand calls himself a Nazi, and he's like Australian, and he's married to a Jew. And he's an alcoholic, and he yells at his wife and children on live streams. And he's talking to Ralph, and he's saying he just doesn't like Nick Fuentes. And if you don't know, Ralph is currently elbow deep up Nick Fuentes' ass because Nick Fuentes runs Cozy.tv, which is like a streaming platform for him and America First. And Ralph got on it. So they're talking about that, and Ralph does not take it well when you make fun of Nick Fuentes or Dick Masterson because those are his bosses, and he's sitting there, and Rand's just like, I just don't trust him. I think he's a fed, and I think he's a homosexual, and I think that if he ever asked you, Ralph, to stop letting me on because he doesn't like me, I would understand that happened. And Ralph got all super pissed off about this, and they got into a fight, and the gist is that they part ways. But I want to play this clip in particular because they're having this argument, and then it's 5:30 a.m. in Australia when they're having it. So Rand's wife comes in to yell at him, and Ralph, for the first time in his entire life, shuts up so that everyone can hear this hot mic argument between Randbot and his wife.
Somebody's talking shit, whatever.
Wake up. Stop. Stop. I've got another hour to sleep. Stop. Go to the door. Tell them we're sleeping.
Okay.
No. fucking 5:30 in the morning.
Thanks. Always count on you.
Kioskman sent $3. Can we switch the topic to something fun like mocking flamenco
well
for
done.
progressively turning more and more
Well done.
gay?
Well done.
Things will happen, right?
So that is the gist. Now there's a couple clips to this. My favorite thing is just like how elated Ralph is immediately after the aftermath of this. He's so happy that this guy he was in a spat with is now like humiliated. What the fuck is he watching? What the fuck is this?
You.
Oh.
Why is Ralph watching Baby Shark?
I don't know who that was earlier. I forgot to say this. I don't know who that was earlier.
Why are 130 people watching Ralph watch Baby Shark, chat?
Like, I don't know if they meant that in a bad way, but...
Why is this? What the fuck is he doing? do you guys want to watch Baby Shark? Here, watch. Baby Shark dance. Yeah, let's watch it. This is apparently what the cool kids are doing. What's? I will get banned? I can't play Baby Shark? Why is he watching this? Ralph, why are you watching this? Oh, jeez. I dare not play Baby Shark. That fucking kid will DMCA me. I'll end my whole career. So, okay, whatever. That's a detour. Anyways, argue. Can I get one that's short, please? I think this is one of the good ones. That's where Ralph explains that he totally made fun of Rand's miscarriage, but now that he's a father, he understands. This. Rand took issue with Nick making fun of dead white children being murdered by black African terrorists in the streets. And Ralph gets uncomfortable about it, and then Rand calls him gay, and he gets upset. I think this is
We've had our fun, and as I've always said, like I'm never going to stab you in the back or anything like that. But I think we're going to have to, if you're going to continue your association with Nick Flantes, who I consider to be a faggot, then a faggot and an anti-white activist, then we're going to have to part terms.
Well, I'm going to tell you, just like Dick Masterson told Josh Moon when he came on and tried to be a female and a woman about telling somebody, a grown man, who they can. Shut up, fucker. I'll let you run your mouth today, and you're sounding retarded as always. I'll tell you, just like Dick told him, nobody tells me who I can associate with. I've never tried to tell anybody else who they can associate with, and you associate with a lot of fucking losers, and I've talked about it many times.
I see that we're parting company.
We're parting company, yeah, if that's what it is. We're parting company.
With our associated dignity.
We're parting company, yeah.
You call me a woman. And
I called you a woman and a faggot. Goodbye.
No, this never stops because it's like the only content Ralph could ever possibly get. It's like hours of them going back and forth. I want to point out that he brings me up because, of course, he does. He loves me. Ralph is my second biggest fan. In fact, he emails Vordrek now, and Vordrek emailed him immediately after the license got revoked to tell him that he was responsible for it to get attention. So they're like pen pals now. They literally write each other little love emails like, "Hey Vordrek, it's me, it's Ethan Ralph, and I just want to say I love what you're doing with the Kiwi Farm. Keep it up, good work." And then Vordrek's like, "Good day, mate. Love you too, Mr. Ralph. I just want to let you know, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. I got the license revoked. Oh my God, I can't believe you got this just for me, Vordrek." And then they just write each other back and forth, and then Ralph reads it aloud, and it's very, very cute. It's very adorable. So. Ralph says that I gave an ultimatum to Dick. I did not. I said that I was a goodbye. There was no ultimatum. I already made up my mind. I just want to point that out. There's no reconciliation because I just kind of my main gripe was just that It wasn't even who he was associating with. It's that he was kind of like pitting people against each other, and he had Riley tell me I wasn't welcome. So it's just like I'm just letting you know I am gonna leave, and it's because I see the writing on the wall. I see that there's some weird shit happening, and I see that your producer is telling me to fuck off. So bye bye. It's not an ultimatum. Just FYI. So at some point they make up even after that, and Rand makes this post saying that the time has come. I guess I won't be working with Ralph anymore if it's complicated. Blah blah blah. The petrol hour will continue as it has since January. See there. I tell him that he's wasting his like he should have seen this years ago. That Ralph has always hated him. Ralph has always trotted Randbot out as like a circus freak. Ralph can't say the N-word because he'll get in trouble, so he just trots out Rand, who says the N-word and says Nazi shit. And then his fans are like, he said something in German that's really based. It's really based, guys. He said something in German. Oh, he said he doesn't like black people. Based again. And that's like his role as like sideshow freak clown for Ralph's show. So I actually tuned into the petrol hour because I wanted to hear what he said, and I don't have a screenshot of that. But this is like his overlay for this. He has like 4 different anime things. That's like a brown anime girl with like a stupid face holding up a swastika flag, or the NSDAP party flag, and then they have like this other anime girl in like neon clothes dancing, and then there's like pregnant Anne Frank or some other, or I think Pregumen. So that's Pregumen. And he just had like, no, how does anime save the white race? I want to know this because there's another guy who I don't have anything against actually, called Miles Poland, and I gave his podcast on TRS called Godcast a try. I tried it out, and the first bit of it was just like a discussion about neon evangelists. It's the one where, okay, or like, who the fuck even has my phone number? 1 second. Anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed Pregumen. Okay, my question was, and the caller didn't know either, how does anime save the white race? And I watched the Miles Poland, and I listened to a bit, and it was like just an anime review of Neon Genesis Evangelion, Ghost in the Shell. Wait. Which I only know of because I really like the intro song from Ghost in the Shell. Which is like a Latin song, and I'm just thinking like, how does this help? I just want to know what it is about white nationalists and watching fucking anime. People give me shit like, oh, why do you watch movies? That's all made by Hollywood Jews and shit. It's like, how does this help? I want to know, chat, right now, how Pregumen saves the white race. And this shit and that little girl over there holding a Nazi, like, how does this help? I want to know. You can answer. You can write me an email. Email me at mattattheinternet@protonmail.com and explain to me how pregnant anime little girls and little girls holding Nazi flags made by Japanese people save the white race. That is my question. Because it baffles me. I'm sure. Like I know that. What is it? I just had Ghost in the Shell. I know that's like supposedly a good one, and it's made in the 90s before everything became like mo shit. But I don't want to make excuses for it. It's like it's always been weird to me. It's escapism. Yeah. I don't know. Learn to program. Stop watching anime. Learn to program. Learn to program in Rust and help me with my forum chat. How does Squid Game save the right race? Squid Game's a movie. I don't know. It's just different to me because I watch Squid Game and I see like men. I see real. Number one, it's like it's not cartoons. They're real people. They're actors. They have to learn how to act. They have to. There has to be like a script involved. There's mistakes. Things have to be orchestrated. There has to be camera movement. And there has to be like dolly tracks and drone shots and all sorts of shit goes into making a movie. It takes a lot of effort to make stuff like that. And then you have anime, and it's like one guy can illustrate an anime and write an anime, and he's like just some fucking weirdo in Japan who lives in his room and has never felt the touch of a woman, and he's writing a anime from the perspective of like 4 teenage girls in high school like short skirts, and he makes this script. And it goes to this weird publishing house that'll publish fucking anything, and then some like team of people will churn this shit out, and then they'll get the voice actors to just go like beep 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 and then it gets put out there with subtitles because if you translate that shit into English, it's cringe as fuck, and everyone knows it, so they have it with subtitles, and then people watch that and they think like, this is my waifu. I want a woman who acts exactly like this autistic Japanese man interpretation of an ideal woman. This is what I want. I'm going to remember her birthday, and I'm going to tweet about her birthday every year, and I'm going to use her as an avatar on the Fediverse and on my GitHub. It's like okay, okay, if you look at movies and you're like, I want to bang that actress, at least like, okay, she's basically fake because she's all made up and filtered and shit, but still a real woman. This woman does not exist. Megumin, she does not exist. Okay, she will never exist. There will never be a Megumin. Your waifu will never be real. And not only will she never be real, she is not even based off a real woman. She is a autistic man's character representing his own sexual fantasy, which you mutually masturbate to. Do you understand this? This is my issue with anime. It is fucking weirdo shit that nobody with self-respect should be promoting or consuming. It's just fucking gross. Anyways. Besides this, Ralph also... This is great. I remember I mentioned that he loves black men, right? So Alice, who is the IP2 Alice, who I like to shit on because she's an animal murderer. In case you forget, because I see people who like to simp for Alice, and I want to remind you all that she murders animals. She tortures animals for fun. So you need to remember when you think about her and you see her, she is an animal killer. Ralph sees her saying, "Who's trying to impregnate me?" Which is just like a thirsty simp jerk-off tweet that she tweets out to keep her simps giving her money. And Ethan Ralph is like, "This black man is literally me reacting to this tweet." To which Alice replies, "Getting the word out, thanks." Oof. No thank you, Ethan Ralph. Won't be impregnated by you, but thanks for getting the word out so I can potentially find someone better than you. And then Ralph's just like, I won't make the joke that I want to because all the usual suspects will go insane, LOL. So he gets like Beatrix like, oh no, I'm just kidding. I'm not actually trying to fuck you, lady. Actually, I'm not interested at all. And then Gator says, well, you do have a track record, which is kind of a base take by Gator, even though he's got Japanese and he cannot fucking speak Japanese. This man does not. He works at a Kroger's begging grocery. He does not speak Japanese. Fix your fucking name, retard. And he, like when she got broken up by Chicken Andy, and then Ralph paid for her plane ticket to come out to Las Vegas because Pantsu hadn't made it there yet, and he intended to fuck her as soon as she got to Las Vegas, only for her to immediately hook back up with Chicken Andy as soon as she got back to Vegas, and completely cuck him out of several $100s for a plane ticket, which is pretty funny. Though, if you need a reminder about who Alice is, and hopefully, God willing, I will be able to load this video that I don't have open already. This is the quality of woman that Ethan Ralph is trying to impregnate, while also in a relationship with a woman who's already pregnant. In case you were wondering how much of a fuck Ethan Ralph gives about May, the answer is 0. Not a single solitary fuck is given about her. In fact, he probably hopes that she dies or fucks off like as soon as that baby's born. Because he's already planning on knocking up retards like this. So here's a clip, 1.5 minutes long. This is from the Yoba house some time ago where Alice had been living briefly. I think Baked Alaska said this crazy bitch has to get the fuck out of my house, and they kicked her out. But I think she was still here when this was recorded. Oh, is it gonna work? Please, video. We'll let it buffer, chat. We'll let it buffer for a second. Oh, look at that bar. It's almost at like 10%. Josh did underestimate how shit Western media. Watch old stuff, dude. If you get bored and you want to consume something, read a book. Watch old stuff. I watch stuff that hasn't been made since 2010, like primarily. Sometimes I'll watch new stuff if I think, but only like usually a movie. I have a rule, and I've had this rule for a long time. I only watch something or buy a game after it's been out for like 5 years, and I already know it's good. I don't watch anything bad unless I intend to watch something bad, because I only watch stuff that has stood the test of time and has not been forgotten about. I've never watched anything that's just complete fucking garbage. Nice. I would actually advise that to anyone. Don't watch anything until you already know it's good. Don't play any game until you already know it's good. Don't waste your time pirating a new game, because it's going to suck. But 5 years from now, look back and see what games are like the best games from that year, and then pirate those. Why waste your time? You think, oh, pirating's free, I'll just pirate it, and then it won't be a waste of time. No, it will still be a waste of your time. Maybe not your money, but time is money, so you still waste money. Anyways, here's the Alice clip.
Come real late. Quick steak at the lake with Blake. No hate, coming late. Motherfucker collaborate. Oh no, what is this? I'm not touching that. Almost not worthy to go on my shoe. Oh, gross, dude. Oh, gross, dude.
Here, wait, listen. I want you to listen for that slap noise.
Oh no. Oh no.
Hear that wet slap? That wet slap. It's like a piece of steak is in that panty, chat.
Oh, gross, dude. Oh, gross, dude. Oh, fucking shit, dude. Oh. Oh. Oh, that answers your question from earlier, dude. That answers your fucking question from earlier. No. No. It's absolute no, okay? Okay? That's fucking this. Oh my gosh, dude. Let's get the fuck out of here. Let's get the fuck out of here, dude. JJ. No, he's sleeping. He's gonna sleep. Oh my gosh. Oh my fucking gosh. Shit. You guys don't even want to know what the fuck is in there. You guys don't even want to fucking know, dude. You guys don't even want to know. That's fucking dirt.
Makes me wonder, because I assume it's shit when I hear it, but I guess did she leave like underwear with like a used tampon just in the middle of the hallway? Like, how fucking vile.
No, it's fucking, it is occasional. Oh. I'll let Uza tell you. I'm not even trying to fucking, I'm not even telling you what that was, dude. I'm not even telling you what it was. I'm not trying to fucking give nobody a bad name, but that shit was fucking gnarly.
So there you go. There is, remember this. Alice murders animals. She is literally like retarded schizophrenic. She dates a guy called Chicken Andy. She throws wet, used tampons or shit-filled panties, dirty crap briefs, literal dirty crap briefs in the hallway of a house that's shared with many other people. And that caliber of woman still rejects Ralph, which is pretty funny. Okay, let's see. Oh, and here's Footy Booty. Here, you ready?
No, seriously, fat girl belly dancing. Look. Oh, excuse me. I think I can isolate my abs. I just go like this.
Watch it, chat. She wants to be a belly dancer. Nadir's ex-girlfriend was like a really fit belly dancer, like Egyptian belly dancer. So she also She also will become a belly dancer. To spare you a really long story, they've been breaking up and getting back together, and it really always seems like it'll be like, based on her words, she's so fed up. She'll tell stories about how he makes her crawl on all fours and kiss his feet, and then he's like obviously cheating on her and all this shit, and she's like, no, really, I'm done for real. Like, I'm not getting anything out of this except for sex. He's using me for my money. I so see it so clearly now. And then the next thing she'll do is actually, let me just pull this up. I forgot about this. I'll just read you the community post. After all this huge fucking tantrum about how Nadir is abusing her and she needs to get over it and this is it for sure and she'll never see him again and she's going to move to Jamaica and fuck a bunch of black guys so she forgets about him, she puts out this one day ago. Hey guys, sorry I missed the VIP coffee beezing today. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I feel like an idiot, yes, for coming online and saying one thing then changing my mind the next. I'm sorry. I'm in love with someone I talked a lot of crap about and divulged a lot of personal information about a relationship. This has to stop, and I know this. Going back to someone I said I wouldn't go back on still does not make me a bad person. I need to clean up my channel a bit to make my space a mentally healthier place for me and my bees. So if you're fed up with my life, please unfollow me, because next time I go live, I will be keeping those who are here to support me, not tear me down every chance they get and hang on every flaw and mistake. No one is forcing you to endure this torment. In return, I will do my best to create a positive content for you. I'm so tired of apologizing for living my life. I feel better just being open and honest instead of trying to hide what I go back to. So, just like constantly like going back to this Egyptian guy who beats her and humiliates her, because it's basically the only thing she has. Like, what does she have besides that? Pete's. That's it. Nobody wants to be stuck with Pete's. So, sucks to be her. That's all I gotta say about that. I think that's it. Chat. You know what? Because Randbot had his little breakup with Ralph. I'll promote him. That's what I'll do. I'll shill for Randbot, even though he fucking hates me. Maybe one of you guys out there are the type of person for Randbot's audience. Someone in the chat for Kiwi Farms, link me the Randbot thing. I'll put it up on the stream to be nice. Because for whatever reason, he really, really hates me. He says that Kiwi Farms is like the Antifa branch or the doxing branch of Antifa, which is fucking bizarre. Where is this? I know it's like on some weird site. He's like on some weird anime streaming site. I can't actually give a proper link to. Oh my god. Oh my god, this is misery. Oh, I'm tempted to show a picture of his wife so I can show you how Jewish she is. You can find it on your own. Since I'm trying to be nice here, I don't want to show a picture of his wife. Okay, I can't find it. For whatever reason, the OP of Rand's thread decided not to put his streaming link anywhere. I don't know. If someone wants to put it in chat, otherwise I don't see it. Alright. So Kiwi Farms is Nazi commies. Dude, everyone has a reason to hate the forum. It really is. Like, I was actually surprised. Someone had to tell me that Nick Fuentes has even talked about his thread. All these people, they read their forum threads, they see things they don't like to see, and then they get mad. And they say, like, this site is Antifa, the site's Nazis, the site's whatever. And it's just like, it's just people talking, bro. You know, I know there are places where people say a lot of horrible shit about me, and you know what I do? I just don't read it. Like, Vordrak put out a huge article about how he got the forum license revoked. I didn't read it. Why would I read that? That article exists to irritate me. These people post things to irritate me. So you know what I do? I just don't read it because I don't care. I assume if someone has an actual problem with me that I can, like, compromise on them with, they will email me or send me a DM or something. Like, people, like, just talking shit behind your back, it's not feedback that you have to actually pay attention to. Okay. Is there anything else? Should we wind down for now? TRS glows. Okay, fine. I'll do a K video. I don't have the bingo card set up on Linux, so we're just gonna have to deal with not having a bingo card. Sorry if you hate the K videos, but doesn't matter. Okay, chat, you tell me. We got another veggie meal, making a simple meal, chicken burger. That sounds promising. Mushroom and eggs, sausage and egg muffin. My plaque has arrived, which is like her 100,000 subscriber mark. Pretty impressive, actually. One of the most famous chefs in England, I'm sure. Chicken burger. Okay, we'll watch the chicken. We'll watch the chicken burger.
Hi, people, and I'm back cooking.
That's a rare shirt. I don't think I've ever seen that shirt. Black and white stripes with the red standout stripe. Now that's creative.
And today I'm going to be making a plain chicken burger. Right, as you can see, I've got the flour.
She's adding in.
I'm going to put a bit of sage in it.
Sage.
And a bit of parsley in it.
A little itsy bitsy teeny
So
bit
what I'm
of
going to do is
parsley.
I know it's not round and it should be, but I'm going to dip it in.
Are you supposed to put the flour directly
so it's
on?
got some of the
I will have to say,
on it.
breading shit is like the worst. It's amazing that we're in this year of this year of marvels where we're creating super viruses and we have computers to solve everything, but we still have to like dip our fingies into the egg yolk and then put the egg yolky thing into the flour and get fingers covered in flour egg gunk, and little clumps like cat poo in the litter, and it's just really fucking gross. Why have we not found a better way to do this? We need a TV infomercial thing to help us solve this crime.
Now I'm going to dip it in heggy. Now it's in breadcrumbs.
Oh, she did bread, egg, and then crumbs.
Roll it in breadcrumbs all over. And I put it in the pan. Now the pan is hot, or it's already on. Yeah, you can hear it just about sizzling.
I'm pretty sure you're also supposed to get the oil up to temperature first, right?
It might want a little
I
bit
don't know, I'm
more
not an
oil
expert.
on it to cook it. As you can see, I cutted them in half.
She cutted.
And, they're done. So that's the end.
Okay, so it's literally just plain chicken in crumbs and flour and heggy and nothing else.
Product. Here's the taste test.
So it's just the chicken breast on plain bread buns. I don't have the bingo card. We're just watching the nice video. She loves it. Excellent.
It actually tastes like a chicken burger. Well, I enjoyed that actually. It was very nice. So there's going to be a link in the description to my merchandise.
She didn't even put like pickles on it. Come on, Kay. Please do a Christmas special, Kay. We really, as a student, Kay's cooking is a true inspiration. What does she say to this? Thanks so much, she says. What a nice lady. That's the nice thing about Kay. She's a nice lady. I actually remember we did a stream on her a while back, and it was just me watching her videos and laughing, because before, she's like cleaned up. She doesn't like do total fucking train wrecks anymore. The video of her putting raw hack into the oven surrounded with like uncooked pasta is one of the and then it catches on fire. It's probably one of the funniest things ever put on the internet. And then someone in the comments said something like, Kay has really huge boobs. I like those boobs. And she watched the stream and went to the comments, and she showed appreciation for this guy calling her boobs big. And the comments lost to the sands of time, because that was the original Kiwi Farms channel that got nuked. But I remember that very, very clearly. Crystal clear. Alright. I think that's it. Fuck this week. I got programming to do. I got programming socks to put on. There's shit to do, chat. This stream's gone on long enough. I will see you guys next Friday. And I'm trying to figure this out. Oh, okay. The Friday after that's the 17th. I can probably do that. Christmas Eve is on the 24th. Probably will not stream that. And my birthday is on Sunday, so that's not an issue. It's on the 19th. In case anyone wants to send me some money. The NFT thing I mentioned will probably happen in January as a mechanism for crowdfunding for the software at this point. Just a heads up. And my Inglourious Bastard review has been pushed back because I'm working on the software now. Sorry to say. How? Oh, God. Okay, there. Now it works. Okay. I will see you guys next week. Same time, same play. Wait, is OBS glitching out or is my mic busted again? Okay, it's just OBS breaking. Everything's breaking. That means I gotta hurry the fuck up. I gotta get out of here. This shit's about to crash. Where's my outro song? Okay, I have this. See you next week. Bye-bye. Birthday shout out to what's his name? Oh God, where'd it go? To Shia Maru. No birthday shout out today. Birthday shout out, my friend. Birthday shout out.